You really need to start lying to yourself if you want your life to change. The reason why I say that is because a lot of us are stuck in the same pattern of trying to get the 3D to change, but doing it from the state and identity that says, I'm not this version, I don't have this thing, I've never had this thing, I've always struggled. And I want something in 3D to change to prove to me that that's no longer the case. But you keep getting your validation from what's going on in front of you, which is just the outpicturing of all the stories and assumptions and beliefs that you've had for your entire life. So continuing to identify based off of what's true, what's real, what's in front of me is only going to continue to perpetuate that story, whether you like it or not, whether it's annoying or not, whether you're mad about it or not. The more that you continue to identify with what is, the more that you recreate and perpetuate what is into your life. So the thing about lying to yourself, muggles that find our content say they're so delusional. But if the fool would persist in his folly, he would become wise. Why is that? Because imagination creates, number one. And imagination creates out of the all that is already created, out of the fact that creation is finished and that all versions of reality are available to all of us now. And that we select that version of reality with our attention and assumptions and beliefs and awareness. And so it doesn't really matter. You may look at your situation and say, well, it's true. It's a fact. I'm broke. It's true. It's a fact. I need right now. I don't have what I need. I'm sick. It's true. It's a fact. I'm alone. They left me. But there are no facts. There's just infinite versions of reality. So yeah, in one reality, sure, it could be a fact. But in the next reality, it's not. And they're both existing simultaneously. And you are the only person who has the ability to choose between and to light a different one up for yourself. But you don't get there, and you don't do it by telling the truth, by accepting things as facts. All the things that you think are facts about yourself are things that were repeated to you either from yourself or from others until it hardened into fact, until it became a story, until it became an idea, until it became a belief, until it became an identity within you that you held on to, that you may still be holding on to. And now let this be your permission to let it go. We keep waiting on things in 3D to shift. Well, once I get this pile of money, this SP, this perfect health or perfect appearance, I will identify as the one who has it. But that's muggle living. There's no validation for you to get out of 3D. Your validation comes from within. Your validation comes from your say-so and giving your say-so authority and supremacy over your experience. So there are no facts because everything that's true in one reality is not true in another. Everything is just the way that it is in this reality is just the way that it is in another reality. And you are the one that gets to decide. You are the one that gets to choose and light up which one you're experiencing. So stop telling the truth. Stop saying, well, this is how it is. I remember for me, when I first got into manifestation, I became very diligent with my thoughts. I was very attentive to what I gave attention to. And at some point along the way, I got away from that. And I got to the point to where I was less diligent with my thoughts. And I felt like it's okay for me to vent, for the 5th time this week. This is how I feel. Well, I have to be real. I have to look at the facts. This is what's happening. I'm failing. This is what's happening. It's not working. This is what's happening. It's the same thing that keeps not happening or keeps happening. And all I was doing in that moment was creating. All I was doing was prolonging and solidifying myself in that reality. If you're going to take what's going on and what's true for you and what's available to you based off of the 3D, be ready for it not to look very different. Be ready for it to look pretty similar to everything else that it's been so far. But be aware that there's no reason that you have to continue to stay in that other than you deciding that. You don't have to live your greatest life. You don't have to dream your greatest dream. You don't have to sing your greatest song. You can live in mediocrity. You can decide that, you know what, I'm just going to let 3D continue to tell me who I am and what I can have and what I can do. And you can live like that. But if you're watching this video, that's not what you really want. That's not what you've really chosen for yourself. So put 2 feet into the new assumption. Put 2 feet into the new identity. Stop waiting for permission. There's no permission. There's no validation. There's no anything that you need other than to assume, what if it were true that I was who I wanted to be, that I had what I wanted to have, and that I'm doing what I want to do? What if that were true? And be bold enough, be courageous enough to step out of what's true and what's real and what the facts are and into your dream. Into your dream. And that is what lights it up. Your decision, your attention, your awareness, despite what is. Looking into the mirror and waiting on the mirror to give you permission to do something else is insane. Okay? There's nothing in the reflection to change. You are the reflector. You are the projector of reality. You are where reality is taking its direction from. So you can't look at it and decide and choose from what is and think that, oh, this is going to make things change. If you want to get out the rut, lie to yourself every single day. Talk about how wonderful it is in the face of whatever terrible thing that's going on. Talk about how wonderful you feel in the face of feeling bad and not feeling well. And for those that say, but I have this going on, but I have that going on, but this is going on. Well, okay then. If you're going to argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. And that's on you. There's no one requiring you to live as God. There's no one requiring you to live your best self. If you have decided as the operant power of your reality that your circumstance is just too much for you to take your focus off of it and put it on what you want, then that is your decision and that is what you'll live with. And that's on you. But if you really, really want to live a new life, to live as a new person, to live in magic, to experience beyond what you've ever experienced before, then you do have to take your attention away from what is and put it on what you want consistently, persistently, until it hardens into fact. And I am intending that prospers you. I'm Olivia Grace. This is the Master Manifestors channel. I talk about law of assumption, so if you're into that stuff, manifestation, you'll love it here, and I'd love to have you here. I have ways I can help you in the description, but other than that, I'm intending it prospers you immensely, and I will see you guys in a video soon.